Hello, and welcome to today's edition of the Cheap Pop Podcast, brought to you by First GenXers Presents. My name is Dark Lord 100, aka Double KK Double, and I am your host here alongside the one and only Runescryer, otherwise known to us as Mr. Dave. What's up, sir?
Hey,
Uh,
how we doing?
Doing good, doing good. Hope you're doing well yourself.
Yeah,
Um,
aside from a little dry eye, I'm good.
right on, right on. I'll say it's been a very interesting week. I'll mention right now before we jump into hot topics that I was just telling you right now that I watched Mortal Kombat 2 over the weekend. Matter of fact, like an hour before we came on the show, and yeah, I can give it my thumbs up. I highly recommend, especially if you enjoy Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Right. If you enjoy the games and the lore, you'll enjoy this particular movie. It's very well done. So,
Okay.
but I say that only because we're going to be diving into a couple of other movies come hot topics,
Oh,
which
also,
was
also real quick, Supergirl is now on HBO Max for those
yes,
of us
yes,
that had missed it. So,
yes, and it's worth the watch. Like I
oh yeah,
said, yeah, definitely 100% worth the watch. All right, so that takes us into our first segment. Hot topics. What's up? What's up? All right. So the first topic that we have up is straight out of Trailerville. And I don't mean that as in like trailer trash or like living in trailers. I mean that is in movie trailer. Yes, we have yet another one for
yep,
you
we're not done
here.
with trailers yet.
No, we are not. No, we are not. All right. It's for a movie that will be coming out soon. And as Dave affectionately referred to it as spiritual successor to
To the
the Sandlot.
Sandlot.
Yes,
Those are all the same actors grown up.
yes, 100%.
We are
And
only missing the great James Earl Jones and the dog. Now, this
yeah,
is not a continuation of their story.
right.
This is
These are
these are
not the
different
same
characters,
characters.
same actors, different characters.
Yep. And that to me is awesome because it's a way to do a sequel or do like you said a successor movie without it having to be a direct sequel and you having
Right.
to be bound by canon or a certain storyline, to have to stick
Yep.
with things.
Exactly.
So the one thing I love is I forget the actor's name, the one who played the short chubby kid with the curly hair in the original
Yeah, I'm
Sandlot, who
I'm just
played Big.
looking at it right now.
Uh, but he's married to Topanga
Anga, yes.
in the movie, and I'm like, oh Lord, you're killing me here.
Well, because he is the producer for it, and
he
yeah,
wouldn't like
his
himself to
name
be
is
married to
Patrick.
that.
Patrick Renna is the guy's name, and he went on to be part of Hollywood, but not still do acting.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Well, and it was also mentioned by Daniel Fischel during one of their media stops or
yeah,
during one of their like the openings for the movie that every single one of the boys that was on that was in the Sandlot made an appearance on Boy Meets World
really, that's
as a
cool.
side character, as
Yeah,
one of the kids. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
in the school. I was like, that's pretty interesting. I did not know that.
So
And so,
yeah, so
well,
this is coming to YouTube, not
yeah,
to any streaming platform or
yeah,
theaters. It's just going to YouTube.
right.
So yeah,
Hey, it's something to check out on YouTube.
it is
You
something to
know
check
what?
out on YouTube.
You know what else I found on YouTube? And this is going to be a random like sidebar here. It's a show called Yes Dear. They used to come on. I didn't see it when it made its original run on like CBS or NBC or whatever it was. I caught up to it when it was in syndication on TBS.
Yeah.
and he used to run in marathons every morning. And I can't find the show on any streaming service, like anywhere. And I can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So,
what's really great for YouTube is seeing original anime that we grew up with, but in the original Japanese form. Like they've got the entire run of Science Ninja Team Gatchaman.
Science Ninja Team, that's a hell of a name.
Better known as Battle of the Planets.
Yes.
On YouTube. They have the Lost third Voltron series.
Wow. Oh no!
Lightspeed Electroid Albagus.
All right, all right. On YouTube's a little sneaky home for stuff.
Yeah, remember there was Matchbox went ahead and made the third Voltron before it came. Right, the one that has the three robots that combine into one.
Yeah.
So that's on YouTube. And the interesting thing is that the super form has different powers depending on how the chests are stacked, what the color order is when they're stacked.
Nice. Oh,
It is a product of the 80s Japan, and kind of problematic in some ways, but
shut up, woman. No.
There's lots of tropes, like you'll see what I mean.
Okay, I have to go check it out. I have to go check it out. You know what I'm looking for, and actually I was looking on Amazon to buy when I get a little cash in my pocket, is the 4-part, not the all-in-one, not the Robotech, but the actual 4-part Macross Plus series. I used to own it on DVD. It's now gone with my storage, but
I have it.
I want it. Yeah. Like that is definitely worth watching. All right.
Yeah.
I believe YouTube is a place where you can watch it. Like if you look, I believe you can find the 1980s Transformers movie on YouTube if you really looked hard enough. But
or just wait another month until it comes back for the 40th anniversary in theaters, like we talked about last week. Good
callback there, sir. Good callback.
Thank you. All right. I do have my uses.
Oh, well, so you get us through most of the video game talk. So I'd say you have more than one purpose. All right. Well, all right. But no, X-Men Season 2, X-Men 97 Season 2, Episode 7 was a great one. It kind of took us to a future. It's called Strange Land, Savage Heart. It's an exceptional character study that brilliantly balances high concept superhero action with deep philosophical debates. You start dealing with the X-Corp team, and you start seeing the pushback that Xavier is receiving from the government on what he's doing and his mutants not being controlled. It ends up going to a place called the Savage Land, and this place is run by Colossus, and it looked like Mr. Sinister, but I don't think it was him.
Yeah. Oh, we get to see Rogue in her Savage Land costume?
Yes. And Polaris too. Well, Polaris and Bishop flirting with each other.
Yeah,
was another big thing in it.
Yeah, that's popping up in certain circles.
Yes. But it was, like I said, overall it was a good episode. I think that not every episode has to be epic. They gave us through the first 5 episodes. They gave us the Apocalypse arc, and now they can just give us some stuff that fills in the gaps and still takes you on little adventures, but fills in the gaps. like we did a couple of weeks ago with the Wolverine episode, and now we have this episode. So I like where they're going with it. I genuinely do. It's a good show. Here's the thing about it. I didn't pick up on X-Men, the anime, the original one, until like season 3, season 4, when I finally started watching. Like that was my bad. I was doing other things on Saturday mornings. This show kind of gives me a chance to feel like I'm back in it from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to jumping into something that's years and years already into it. And so it's one of the things that I enjoy about it is that if you're a new fan to the X-Men animated thing, this is a great entry point where you don't have to feel like you missed out on a lot, like I did when I first jumped in. Anyway, so how do you feel about that, Mr. Dave, about jumping into a series a year, 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, I want to, but then my ADHD acts up, and it's like, no, we have to watch from the beginning, so we have the entire storyline in our minds, and then forget when we switch over to this series. And
well, say it reminds me of the scene from The Big Bang Theory with Sheldon when Penny's supposed to be on that episode of NCIS.
Yeah.
And he leans over to Amy. He goes, I just feel so wrong. And she's like, why? He goes, this is episode like 258, and I haven't watched the other 257, so I have no idea where the story's going. I was just like, but I get it.
Yeah.
Only time I can jump into a series kind of mid-series and watch it like middle of season 3 or something like that is a series that I've watched 100 times over and over again. You know, then I'm fine with like How I Met Your Mother. I can jump in the middle of season 3. I'm good. Sometimes I just don't need to watch the first couple of seasons. I'm like, it's okay. But that's only with series that I've watched over and over and over again over the course of like a few years. But last thing we're going to talk about in Hot Topics comes from Paramount Plus, and let me say, bravo to the guys who put together Avatar Aang. Like very much so. Like from beginning to end, that movie was worth the watch. I ended up realizing that I had access to it. I was like, Paramount Plus. My daughter really wanted to watch that and the new Avatar series. So I was like, how can I get a hold? And I figured out that through my Walmart Plus account or subscription, I have a free Paramount Plus. It had ads, but it's the one with ads, but it's a free Paramount Plus premium subscription. So I was able to sign up through that, and then we were able to watch Avatar Aang. And yeah, definitely a more mature version of the gang, including like Toph making sexual jokes about how attractive one of the other airbender that they find is. Definitely has a big plot twist in it. I'll let people watch. I'll do this spoiler free. And it was just nice seeing the gang back together again, seeing Sokka and Aang and Katara, now a master waterbender, and Aang's now mastered all of the elements. You know, he is the Avatar. You know, he can now flow fluidly in between the Avatar state and not. You know, at will, and it's just definitely like it's. I hope they do another movie that kind of even more bridges the gap between, like maybe give us a movie that fast forwards to when Aang finally, you know, when Aang passes away, what the events were that led up before Aang's death, and then that and have the last quarter of that movie kind of take us into the Korra, you know, years of the thing. So but in general, again, 2 thumbs up. I will give it 2, but I'm holding a mic, so there you go. 2 thumbs up. Recommended watch for sure. Avatar Aang. If you're a fan of the Avatar: The Last Airbender, sort of. We do take comments from the comment section, but normally we move through the show, not necessarily open panel.
At our own pace.
Yeah, at our own pace. What's up, Barrett? Barrett Oise. But thanks for the question. But all right, so that was the last thing we were going to be talking about there in Pop Culture Corner. So we will go on ahead and
no, that was the last thing for Hot Topic.
Sorry, for Hot Topics.
Now we go on to Pop Culture.
Now
Corner.
we move on to.
Dude, you're the producer and showrunner. You created these segment names. You should know them by now after, what, 2 years now?
Hey. Sometimes I get confused. Okay?
That's because you're old.
That is true. I am old. All right. So you fill us in on this one, sir, and talk to us a little bit about the Children of Blood and Bone author Tony Ademi left film set sobbing, calling it the worst thing I've had to live through, and I never want to hear about it again. Okay, is this true? Like, what's going on with this?
Don't know. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, we talked about the tea that was brewing between author Tomi Adeyemi and the entire production of her breakout young adult series, starting with Children of Blood and Bone. Now, for those of you who are not aware of it, Children of Blood and Bone is a young adult fantasy series, but it is solidly based in African fantasy and mythology and culture. There is not a person of my complexion to be found. So right there, this is pretty historic. And she got into a spat that is becoming more and more public over the production. She started by basically on TikTok telling actress Amandla Steinberg, from who we know from Star Wars: The Acolyte. Basically she did a verbal Will Smith, take my name out of your mouth, don't ever call me, don't ever mention me, nothing.
Wow.
And so that left a lot of people kind of confused, like, what? And so we're now finding out via Variety and other major online sources that she posted that she had left the set of filming sobbing and an absolute emotional wreck. Now, have we played the trailer for it? Because it's out. The trailer's out.
I believe so, but if you want to send it to me,
yeah, hang on while I do that. But yeah, so she's kind of adding, she's adding a little bit more. She's adding another tea bag to the pot, basically here. And this is basically a she said, they said situation in there. And unfortunately, the internet rumor mill is definitely hopping in on this, and they are starting to suspect that this is a low-key all publicity is good publicity.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing like having
to draw attention to.
Yeah, to draw attention to it, because like I said, we don't know because she had an enormous amount of control for a first-time author, from what I understand, over script approval, uh, over all facets of it. Um, and this is being produced by Paramount,
Mhm.
who, if you have been following the news, you know kinda how problematic Paramount is becoming.
Yeah.
By the way, the
Yeah.
eternal merger of Paramount and Warner Brothers is back on hold as a bunch of state uh, state attorney generals have blocked an injunction to prevent the merger.
Okay.
But yeah, but for Children of Blood and Bone, I mean, it looks good to me. But
Hold
then
on.
again,
I'm gonna
it's
send it to you in the stream y'all in the chat.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, it looks good to me. It looks as interesting to me as the uh, first trailer for Black Panther looked to me.
Uh, yeah.
Um, and I didn't even have I mean, I had more cultural knowledge going into Black Panther than I do have into this. So, um, we don't know what it is. Um, if you're old enough to remember, back in the day, Anne Rice absolutely decried Tom Cruise as Lestat in
He
uh,
doesn't fit the
original.
look. But he did a good
Yeah,
job.
exactly. Only for about a month before um, the movie came out, she publicly recanted and said, I've seen it. He's great. He's perfect. And da. So, what is truth?
Well, I'll say it like this: like, is that for all television show entertainment stuff like that, it's the person that's watching that determines the
Right.
how good or bad or whatever it is.
Right.
But
And
the problem with that is that human beings cannot agree on a lot of things all
right.
at the same time.
Okay.
So because of that,
Yeah.
you're always going to have somebody.
Yeah.
Who does.
Some folks are speculating that the core of her issue gets to what I call the little c, big C issue in Black representation, which dates back to a fantastic old series on CBS starring the great Tim Reed called Frank's Place. Black restaurateur opening up a Creole restaurant in his old neighborhood of New Orleans, and he gets invited to what's called the Creole Club. Only he discovers his skin's a little too light. It's little c, not major dark, which would be big C. So again, I don't know. I'm just outsider looking in, reporting on conversations that I see happening in spheres that I have access to. I have no strong feelings one way or the other about this. I got no special insight.
Well, like I said, I don't know. Like I hate to say it like this because it sounds like I'm being held like critical or perfect. I'm not. Is that mom said there's always three sides to every story: his, hers, and then the truth.
Right.
And the only people that know the truth are the people that are there, and if they ain't speaking, that were there, and if they ain't speaking, the truth may never be known. Right. Because he and her will always tell a story that favors he or her. And so or they or them. I don't.
Like I said, who know the problem is that nobody is coming outright and saying what exactly the problem is.
Right.
They're just saying there is a major problem that is happening.
It's basically
And
like that person.
there's a problem. You must pick a side.
Yeah. Well,
So-
it's like I say, it's like that person sitting there screaming, "Fire! Fire!" You're like, "Where? Where? Fire! Fire! Where? Fire! Where? Fire! Where? Mother, tell me where, so we can put out the fire! Fire!" Like, and they just keep saying fire. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see as the months progress. Children of Blood and Bone will be in theaters in January.
All right. All right. So the next story is a couple of ones that they brought to us. One, starting with New Hope for D&D. Wizards reveals an official Star Wars crossover.
Yes. Last week, it was all the news from San Diego Comic-Con. This week, it's all the major announcements from the other nerd prom, Gen Con. So, Wizards of the Coast, subsidiary of Hasbro, purveyor of the Dungeons and Dragons role-playing game, made two major announcements. The first one being that they are creating a new sub-product line called Universes Beyond, where they will be taking properties that have absolutely nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons and turning them into role-playing games using Dungeons and Dragons.
Using that same model, huh?
Yes.
So we
same
may see
system,
a Powerpuff
same
Girls
engine.
Dungeons and Dragons.
It would not surprise me. Now, here's the thing, though. Way back in Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition, they did have Star Wars using Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
It was fine. Okay. My problem with it was that the limitations of the system engine. Okay, where you're going from the original Star Wars role-playing game from West End Games that came out back in '89, where simple, elegant, everything you need to know to roll is right there on your character sheet. Just roll that number of dice, add some potential modifiers that are listed in your character sheet. Boom, done. But you also had free-form character development. Like, let's say that, okay, I've got enough experience points to increase a skill. I think I'll increase this skill, or I'll increase that skill. So you could have the smuggler improve their negotiation skill, try to con things. Or you could have the smuggler improve their mechanical skill to fix their starship or blaster or whatever. Or you could even have the smuggler become a force sensitive and start learning Jedi powers.
Gotcha.
Okay. D20 doesn't work that way. There's static level progression, which means that every Jedi, you go up a level, these are the benefits you get. Even if you have some choices in there, everybody gets this. Every Jedi gets this. Next level, every Jedi gets these choices. Every level, Jedi gets these choices. Same for every kind of character class, whether you're a smuggler, whether you're a diplomat, Jedi, whatever. So it's a very limited system compared to what is and what has come before.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. Also the fact that the guy who created D20 Star Wars, very hardworking man by the name of Owen K.C. Stevens, follow him on Facebook, who is a workhorse of the RPG industry. He's the one who created D20 Star Wars for Wizards of the Coast, and he's out of work. They aren't bringing him back in. He's essentially a freelance contractor now, which is kind of a death knell in the RPG industry. It means you got to work your ass off even harder to be able to earn. Nobody, but then again, this also follows Hasbro. It's like, why should we involve anyone who made this popular? They don't tell Jeff Grubb when his Spelljammer universe gets a new adaptation for 5e. They don't tell Margaret Weiss or Tracy Hickman when their Dragonlance universe gets a new adaptation for 5e. Why should we involve? Another reason why I absolutely think Hasbro is a shit company.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but this is apparently, for reading between the lines, this is going to be another Hasbro one-shot, hit it and quit it, ghost them, that they do with every single Dungeons and Dragons setting that is not Forgotten Realms. Okay, Ravenloft, you got one source book / adventure, maybe a second adventure, but just one source book. Eberron, the setting that kicked off 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons. One conversion book. Spelljammer, one conversion book with adventures. Dragonlance, one conversion book with adventures. These are settings that have been around for decades, have dozens of books of lore and adventures to put in. Hasbro just can't be asked to actually put in effort. So, so this is looking like it's just going to be another one short. You want to do Star Wars and D&D? Here you go. Bye.
There you go.
Give us some money. Bye. Yeah. So, yeah. Now, the other big thing about coming out of Gen Con from Wizards of the Coast is that we're returning to Dark Sun.
Yeah.
Okay. They also announced that there's finally going to be a Greyhawk adaptation, Greyhawk being the extensive campaign world that Gary Gygax created. We haven't seen that since 3rd edition, when there was just like a little 40-page booklet detailing the entire lore and options for Greyhawk. But we are going back to Dark Sun, which was a campaign setting that first came out in the golden age of 1994, if I remember correctly. It was the 1990s. What?
No, I just said, God, we're old.
Yep.
I said, God, we're old. Like the ancient 1990s.
Yeah. Now, when you think of Dungeons and Dragons, what are some things you personally, Dark Lord, think of when it comes to a Dungeons and Dragons setting?
Dice, a big book.
No. The world that you're playing in Dungeons and Dragons.
Trees, dragons, orcs, things like that.
Yep.
What's up, Wood? Just shout out real quick.
Dark Sun ain't got none of that. Dark Sun is a post-ecological collapsed world that had been drained of energy, of life force, by rampant abuse of magic.
Okay.
So it's basically a giant desert world.
Okay.
There ain't no orcs because the 13 super sorcerer kings that rule the world genocided pretty much all the non-human races in the distant past. As one website put it, this is a setting where there are no gods. Instead, clerics are either worshiping the sorcerer kings and getting their magical powers directly from them, meaning that they're kind of tools of the oppressive state, or they're worshiping elemental figures. So, as you can imagine, in a desert setting, the cleric of water gets all the trim. Okay, your best weapon is the jawbone of the animal that you just ate your best friend and party member.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is the most grim, dark setting possible for Dungeons and Dragons.
It sounds
yeah, slavery
what all
is
the
rampant.
mamas was afraid of, huh?
Yeah, slavery is rampant.
Yeah,
Halflings
here right now, but he'll be back.
Halflings are cannibals that hunt and eat other races.
Yes. Yes.
So when Pippin asks, "What about second breakfast?" You better start worrying if you ain't a halfling. Okay. Yeah. So if you're casting magic, you have to decide whether or not you're going the path of the Defiler, which is, oh, there's a little patch of shrubbery over there. I'm just going to yoink the life force out of it to power my spell and, turn that 10-foot circle into sterile ash to power my first level magic missile spell. Or the path of the Preserver, which is you take a little bit from yourself, you take a little bit from the environment, everything in balance, and that preserves things.
Okay. That's
so yeah. So the problem is that this has been Dungeons and Dragons' redhead stepchild ever since Wizards of the Coast got it.
Yeah.
Especially since Hasbro took over. Wow. They didn't know what to do with it. And a lot of it is, I have to say that a lot of DMs don't have either the skills or the emotional maturity to run such a setting in proper context. Okay? Mix and match, take your pick in there. This is not a setting for newbies, either players or GMs. This is a setting that to get the fullest out of requires a lot of subtlety and a lot of planning and a lot of watching every version of Spartacus. Okay. The other problem is that there was a great set of books that came out to introduce the fiction novels written by the setting's creator. But the problem is that he kills off all the big bads and solves all the problems in the books, in 5 books. 5 books. So it's like you're reducing the player characters to supporting characters to a bunch of NPCs. What do we got to do now? Everything's been solved in the canon timeline. It's fraught with complexity. But getting back onto the point, 2027 we'll see a Dark Sun source book finally released. Again, they're only announcing 2 books, a conversion book and 1 adventure, actually separate rather than combined into one. And nobody exactly is pleased about this. Definitely not the hardcore fandom of Dark Sun, who've been loving this product for 30 plus years. They're like, okay, we don't want Hasbro shitting on our fun place. Okay, we know how to play this. We know how to run it. We don't need Hasbro or Wizards of the Coast. We're sticking with 5e. Oh, sorry, we're sticking with second edition. Okay, and so again, it's Hasbro shooting themselves in the foot.
They seem to be pretty good at that.
They are very, very good at that. It's like, it's not just with Dungeons and Dragons. Right? Yeah. When was the last time you saw a new Transformer?
True.
enter into the
In a
lore.
few
Well,
movies, but the
yeah.
same Transformers, just
yeah, not a different design,
yeah.
not a limited edition that they sell at Comic-Con. I mean, a new Transformer become part of the lore and the canon. When was the last time you saw a new member of the G.I. Joe team or of Cobra?
Very, very true.
Hasbro is a hit it and quit it nostalgia cash machine. We're going to release, yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you hear about this year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive? We're releasing the Zartan Dreadnoks as Cold Slither, and you can combine it with the Misfits from Gem and the Holograms. Yeah, but continuing on, this is part of a broader initiative by Hasbro Wizards of the Coast called Universes Beyond, where basically every possible Hasbro IP and non-Hasbro IP that they can get licenses for is going to have a Dungeons and Dragons tie-in.
Nice.
Just the same as every single IP gets a Magic the Gathering release. They're currently on Marvel Superheroes. I mean, they did Transformers Magic the Gathering, for fuck's sake. So,
all right.
Thank you for listening to this edition of Dave Rants About Hasbro.
No worries, no worries. All right, we'll let that guide us into the final subject for Pop Culture Corner this week. And that is the Thomas Crown Band.
Oh, yeah.
Edition of the movie, the new trailer just came out.
With Mr. Michael B. Jordan.
Now, this is a reboot or a remake of the
It's
one.
a remake of a remake of an original series, original movie. So the first Thomas Crown Affair came out in the late 60s, early 70s, I think, and was George Peppard as Thomas Crown. Then we had the remake starring
Pierce
Brosnan.
Yes.
And now we got this.
Nice.
And I believe, I believe that it's also Ryan Coogler directing.
Did Ryan Coogler do Creed 3?
No, I'm wrong. This is Michael B. Jordan directing himself.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, fantastic. I'm all in on that. The Thomas Crown.
Maybe call me like scarred by having watched what I watched, but every time I see movies like that, it reminds me of Wanted. Movie with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
And then she played the assassin, the assassins that get bend bullets and all that. Like I don't know why, just the way it's shot and the way everything
it's the hyperaction stuff. Yeah. But yes, the Thomas Crown Affair revolves around Thomas Crown, who is a dilettante that is a one-man Ocean's 11 squad. He does it all. Yeah. He does everything that takes Danny Ocean and 10 other people to do.
He's a leverage team all by himself.
Exactly. As he's pulling off art heists, not because he needs the money, but for the sheer thrill of it.
Just to make sure he can get away.
Yeah. And the thrill for him gets cranked up to 11 when a female insurance investigator gets on his tail and starts investigating him. And that turns into a sexual relationship. And you don't know who's playing who.
It's the Thomas Crown.
Yes.
Okay.
So
check that out.
I'm down for that when it comes out. I love me Michael B. Jordan. Fantastic actor.
And no, folks, just so you know, we haven't forgotten about Spider-Man Brand New Day. We just haven't seen Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Exactly.
We're not talking about it because we haven't seen it. So That's why it's not.
We'll get into it next week. But from what I understand, it is the second highest opening box office for an MCU film.
It's been completely anticipated for almost 2 years now.
Yep.
All right, y'all. What we're going to do right now is we're going to. Come on. I don't know what I opened up. Like it just went down there and it was like, oh, here you go. Like, no, you don't know what I want. But after we're going to go to our quick promo break. It's going to be about 4 to 5 minutes. After that promo break, we will go and talk a little bit about SummerSlam Night 1 right before the start of SummerSlam Night 2. Right here, we'll talk about some of the results. That'll be it. You are currently watching the Cheap Pop Podcast right on First GenXers Twitch, YouTube, and also the WKKW Network YouTube. Stay with us. We'll be back. Peace.
We back at it. Yep, we still doing it. Poetic beat. First GenXers. Gia. Let's get it, y'all. Come on. We back in the building. It's been a long time cooking in the soup kitchen. And I'm chilling with the same. Dropping these beats, won't stop, nope, I can't. Let me get up in the lab, turn it up. Game on with the first GenXers. What's up? Let's flip on the Switch or the Xbox and get up in my zone, I'm clowning. Let me clear my throat for a minute. Shout out to my folks while I'm in it. It ain't nothing but love, it's babe business. I really don't know what's so who ain't feeling this. And this is only the beginning. Now versus then, this is something for the chillin'. Poetic got the joints like McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's the first GenXers. We're now rocking with Poetic Beats. This is the first GenXers production. Get your PlayStations out. Get your Xbox out. Get your Switch out. Let's get it in, y'all. Holla back.
got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I've been real with this. Please don't judge me. I'ma stay on my shit. I'ma keep a grind mode.
Adam's family like dynamic between Pugsley and Wednesday. Like, very true.
Yeah.
Well, I always temper this because I think
I did not like the perceived caution tagline.
I've also seen what Chase Center looks like when the Valkyries are fucking playing, so fuck all of you. Because Chase Center is packed no matter what's going on.
Saturday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on the first GenXers radio network. Join K-Double as he brings you K-Double's 5th period music class. He will open with a master mix by DJ K-Double, and then you will hear from artists like DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Naughty by Nature, Positive K, classic groups like Digital Underground, DeBrat and JD, and finally the Loonies. So join us on Saturday night at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Live 365 app or at live365.com. Just find the first Gen Xers radio network and hit play.
All right. Until Dave gets back, it'll just be me. And I hope you guys enjoyed that promo break there. Oh, there Dave is. What's up, bro?
I'm back. I was just kind of like, yeah, I can stroll around a little bit because I haven't seen SummerSlam. So because
it's all good. It's all good. We haven't even gotten to the point where we ran the promo for SmackDown Alley yet, or the intro for SmackDown Alley.
Before I forget, one last thing. Coda, on my rant about the Wizards doing the Star Wars role-playing game. It's also been announced by the current holder of the Star Wars RPG license, Edge Studios, formerly Fantasy Flight Games, that they still have the license to publish their version of a Star Wars role-playing game and the products. So that license is still intact.
Okay, so we might get two of them, huh?
Yeah. It seems that Disney has learned from putting all their licensing eggs in one basket, like all Star Wars computer games going to EA. So, So, which is good because I actually like the Edge Studios Star Wars game for various reasons that I won't bore you with. But so I'm glad to see that I don't have to scramble to shell out money to complete my collection.
Awesome. All right, so we'll let that little last bit of info there take us over into All right. We are now in SmackDown Alley, where we talk about all things wrestling. Today, we're going to just get it in real quick with a little SummerSlam Night 1 card review. It was an interesting night, as I'll be honest with you, I watched it, but I did not watch the order in which they did it. So we're going to kind of do this from the least important match to the most important match. Least important match was Fatal Influence, did end up defeating Paige and the Bella Twins. It was funny when I saw the match get set up on Friday Night SmackDown. I looked at the screen and literally said to nobody, they're about to turn on Paige. Like just to nobody. I was like that's what's about to happen here. Well, after watching them lose to Fatal Influence, I watched exactly that. The Bellas turn heel, turn on Paige, beat the shit out of her, and leave her laying in the ring, walking out talking about they're the baddies. So, are you any more interested in the Bella Twins as heels than you were when the crowd liked them now, Mr. Dave?
I actually like the Bella Twins as heels. So, because the crowd reaction, you can be over as a baby face, you can be over as a heel, you can be over as a tweener, and the Bella Twins, it's always fun. Plus, it's more chances for Michael Cole to shout out "Twin Magic."
Well, we'll see what they have to say for themselves on Friday night.
Yep.
Because we're going to see Paige turn face, or baby face, and the Bellas go full heels twins, or twin magic. All right. So, 6-man tag was, wow. 6-man tag was LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys defeat the Bloodline, Jimmy J, and Jacob. Yeah, it was an interesting match. Wasn't the ending I expected. I expected the Bloodline to stand tall. This was one of those rare times where the good guys got over on the final go home like Raw or SmackDown, and the good guys ended up winning the match. So Solo proved that he's funny as hell. There's a clip going around of him. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a clip going around of Solo. Him and Jay just got done with an exchange, and then he turns to the hard cam and tells him to run it back and starts doing Jay's whatchamacallit with the crowd. Yeah. And he's just like, and Jay's over there pissed. Like, what? No, not you. Like, yeah, it's hilarious. But congratulations. I think this means good things for Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys. Maybe a future title shot for somebody like LA Knight. We'll see how that plays out. I still think at the end of the day, Solo's going to end up going back to the Bloodline, but now it's just not the time.
Yeah. I think that if I were to suspect, I would think that we're going to have Solo be a thorn in the Bloodline's side until Roman says enough is enough. I'm going to take care of this personally, and we're going to get a Roman Solo Sikoa match.
Solo Sikoa match. Oh my goodness! Sorry, Nick Aldis just came out. I guess he's GM for SmackDown now again after the match we're going to talk about next. But this man is now introduced. Who else? Who is this? Yeah, we're watching SummerSlam live here, folks. Sorry.
Some of us are watching SummerSlam live.
Oh my goodness. So Nick Aldis just walked out. I assume I'm gonna have to rewatch it later. I'm assuming that he is now the GM of SmackDown again. But he just introduced Gunther. Sami Zayn was supposed to have his one-on-one match with Finn Balor for the number one contendership. Well, Nick Aldis just added Kevin Owens and Gunther to that match. Kevin Owens, yes, who I haven't seen in like 6-8 months.
I know.
But that leads us to talk about this match, which was Gunther defeated Nick Aldis via submission last night on the SummerSlam card, and I thought it was a pretty decent match. And it pretty much went the way I expected it to go. I did not expect Nick Aldis to win that match, and he gave a hell of a match. He made Gunther look good. So I was definitely happy with that. It was a great match. But this next match did surprise me because I expected with her momentum that Io Sky would be walking out of the SummerSlam as the Women's World Champion, but we still have Liv Morgan, who beats Io via pinfall. And what I feel match of the night material. Because I don't care what none of you haters say, Liv Morgan can wrestle, and she did a pretty damn decent job of it as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah. I don't deny Liv Morgan's ability.
Yeah.
I just don't her gimmick doesn't get me. It's like, I'm never going to be a mark for Liv Morgan.
Oh, I understand it. I understand it. Like I have grown. It's I'll say it like this. Originally, when I saw Suicide Squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
As good as Margot Robbie was as Harley Quinn, I was like, not really feeling it.
Yeah.
But after I watched the movie a second or third time, and then I watched her also as in the Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, yeah.
She grew on me.
Yeah,
She grew on
and
me. And now
that's fine.
Yeah, and now I'd really rather not see. I'm not saying Liv Morgan's going to grow on you. I'm saying that's what happened to me with Liv Morgan. When Liv Morgan first hit the scene with the Riot Squad, I was like, but over time, Liv Morgan has grown.
I've just had my teenage heart broken too many times by the blonde bitch girls to ever be a mark for Liv Morgan in this gimmick.
High school trauma leads to lack of fandom. I can understand that. All right, and so the next match that was pretty good as well, and again gave me an unexpected winner, as I expected to see Cody walk out with the championship, and we got CM Punk retaining in what wasn't a clean match, because we also had a return in that match of the one and only Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Who I had heard earlier this week that both Randy Orton and KO were supposed to be coming back. So we have KO that we just talked about right now, and then we have Randy Orton, who interfered in this match to help CM Punk retain his title. Sorry. But before the interference and after the bell rang, they gave us one hell of a wrestling match. And that's one thing, like I always tell people, like people go, Roman Reigns can't wrestle. I say bullshit. Before all the bullshit started in that WrestleMania 42 match, I think it was, where he lost to Cody, before all the bullshit started, they ended up leading to Cody winning. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns gave us a wrestling match. Gave us 30 straight minutes of an actual wrestling match. Then they gave us shenanigans to the finish. So, but and this match was the same thing. It was great until the shenanigans and the finish. Other than that, it was an amazing wrestling match. And our champion is still CM Punk. So we're going to get a bunch of dream matches for the title over the next few months.
Yeah.
Of CM Punk versus your favorite wrestler, insert here.
We're getting your girlfriend's favorite wrestler's husband versus your favorite wrestler.
All right, and then we closed night one of SummerSlam with what I thought was, in all honesty, by normal standards, it was a pretty mayonnaise Hell in a Cell match. Like neither man bled really. Like there was a bunch of power moves done, but that was expected. You could have done that in a no DQ match. And you did have a great moment where Brock Lesnar paid tribute to the Undertaker when he hit Oba with the tombstone.
By taking 30 minutes to walk the ramp.
He was in his hometown, and that was most likely Brock Lesnar's last match. Let that man have an hour to walk down to the ring if he needs. But real talk, like Brock truly enjoyed the moment. Like, and the finish, I can see where people would be disappointed with it, but I was happy with it if Brock was happy with it. And it looked like he was, because basically the finish saw him hit the tombstone, Oba kick out, Brock sitting there looking confused as usual, just like the Undertaker did with him when he kicked out. He did it with Shawn Michaels too, looked all like, oh my God. And then Oba got up, punched the chair out of Brock Lesnar's hand, put him in the fall from grace, and pinned him 1, 2, 3. After the match, Brock goes out the ring, comes back in the ring. As Oba, Brock comes back in the ring. Oba looks like he's ready to fight again. And Brock walks up to him, goes to shake his hand. Oba's still like, nah, motherfucker, I ain't falling for that shit. he looks like he about to fight him. And then Brock gives Oba a hug. And like, and like says something in his ear and then lifts his hand up and then literally grabs a mic from outside and looks at the crowd and goes, I want all y'all to know this is the future of WWE. Like Obafemi, he's basically crowning him the next big thing.
Yep.
And then literally at the end, Brock goes, I want y'all to see this. I'm saying this right now. I'm the past. That's the future. I'm the past. That's the future. And then he drops the mic and walks on out and lets Oba have the ring for the final couple of minutes that they're on air. But I think now Brock is done. I think if we see Brock again, it's going to be down the road and maybe in a one-off, you know. But Brock Lesnar coming back full time to compete for championships and shit like that, nah. I don't think we're ever going to see that. So there was one fan-written whatchamacallit that I would have loved to see. I knew it was never going to happen. But basically somebody pitched Paul Heyman turning on Brock Lesnar to become the new mouthpiece for Obafemi. And I was like, look, I love the idea because I think somebody with Heyman's mouth, just like it's kind of like when you put, it's kind of like back in the day when they put somebody with Jimmy the Mouth, Mouth of the South. You know what I'm saying? You knew Jimmy was going to hype, it was going to put them through the roof.
Yep.
You know, as far as being their guy, being his guy. Paul Heyman's that same way. So I think if you gave Paul Heyman Obafemi, I think Paul Heyman could get him over the moon with very little effort. But I would say I don't think Oba needs Paul. Like it's just like Roman didn't need Paul, but having Paul elevated him that much more.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
I'm going to call Paul Heyman the hobo from now on because he rides a train as far as it can go and then jumps onto the next train coming.
Well, no, I don't see him jumping on the Oba train just because I think Oba cuts a good enough promo by himself.
Right.
That they won't feel the need.
But like you said, Roman didn't need Paul Heyman, but the addition pushed Roman beyond what Roman could have done by himself.
Now let me tweak what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't ever put Oba with Paul Heyman. I'm saying at this point in his career right now,
fair.
I don't think it would be a good time. But somewhere down the road where Oba has, like maybe after Oba wins his first world championship, then all of a sudden the next night we see him commiserating with Paul Heyman. Right. You know, and then have to go from there. But I just don't think right now. But somewhere down the line, who knows? Who knows? All right. So that was the main event of the evening. Closed on that SummerSlam Night 2 card. Currently, it was supposed to be a singles match of Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. And number one contender match, but that match has now become Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens versus Gunther for the number one contendership for the WWE Championship. And it's been a hell of a match so far. But this match is one that I don't know how I feel. I don't stop sniffing that cat's butt. Sorry, y'all didn't need to hear it. One second. But anyway, yeah. So we'll see who wins it. But at this point in time, I think it was wise of them to add some flavor to that match, so to speak, in Gunther and KO. So everybody's kind of got a history with everybody there. KO's got a history with Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's got a history with Finn Balor and Gunther and KO. KO's got a history with, like everybody got a history with everybody. And that just makes it even that much more interesting. So, all right. So also on the card tonight, and I figured this one you may want to get some thoughts in on. We have Human Monies on a Pole match. Danhausen versus versus Dominic Mysterio. Oh, when they first said this, I'm like, don't get me wrong. I've seen the money on a pole. I've seen the flag on a pole. I've seen dignity on a pole match. Like I've seen it all, but I've never seen a human monies on a pole match. That's new.
That is going to be fun. Is Danhausen versus who tonight?
Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, please let Danhausen defeat, not just defeat, but humiliate Dom. That's what Danhausen does best. Is Danhausen humiliates the heels. Just mwah.
Oh man. So it looks like our new number one contender, spoilers ahead if you're not watching SummerSlam and don't want to know about it. But it looks like KO just won the number one contendership.
Nice return.
Nice. If someone dies in Hollywood universe, who would hit you the hardest? Be honest with you, it'll hit me hard when either Morgan Freeman, Larry Fishburne, or Samuel L. Jackson. When any of the three of them die, it'll hit me pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that ain't anytime soon, but when any of the three of them pass away, that'll hit me hard. They've been such a huge part of my life in general. Another match we have for tonight as well is Trick Williams taking on Baron Corbin for the United States Championship. So give me a quick thought and prediction. Do you think that Baron's going to whoop that Trick, or Trick is going to retain?
I don't know enough about either of them, both in terms of style and in terms of heat, to make a prediction there. So it's like, I'll see.
Well, fair enough. Trick Williams has been pretty hot. I don't really see a reason to take the strap off him right now.
Like I said, I don't know how hot Baron Corbin is.
Well, Baron Corbin is getting true heel heat because he's really good at doing that. I hate to say it, like he seems like what's funny about Baron Corbin is I'll say this. He seems like a really nice guy in probably in real life, but he also looks like a guy that you could easily hate in real life. Like very easily. Like just, I knew it. Yeah, Michael Jackson, I'll say this. Michael Jackson didn't really.
Michael Jackson was a complicated man.
Well, no. Michael Jackson didn't really shake me.
Right.
Because especially the last couple of times that I saw him on television, I was like, there's something wrong with him right now.
Yeah. We're getting into the Hollywood who died. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying. Like, but it stunned me.
Yeah.
It left me like shook, not necessarily because he had passed away, but because I understood that was the end of the line when it came to his music. I always looked forward to seeing what him, or even with Prince, what they were going to do next. When they both passed away, it meant that was an end to their music. We weren't going to hear anything new from them. That's what stunned me more than their death themselves.
Yeah.
But anyway, you also got Penta and Chad Gable. I know you, sir, you're hoping that Chad comes home with the Intercontinental Championship.
No, offense to Penta. I'd be fine with either one winning. I have no clear dog in this match for my preferences.
Go ahead.
I would like to see Penta retain because he's Penta. I would like to see Chad Gable win because it's great for the Apology Tour storyline.
Well, here's the thing about it. I've grown to like Chad Gable, and it's not that I dislike Penta. You know, I still like Penta, but he's had his run with it, and he's had some great defenses. Some great matches and defenses. And so I would just prefer and love to see Chad Gable walk out of SummerSlam in his hometown. You know what I'm saying? Like at a big event like this with the build-up that he's had, I would love to see him go home with it.
And that's probably why he's going to win. But you hit the nail right on the head. Chad Gable is a perfect example of a heel that I just couldn't stand. Again, high school trauma, bullied by jocks. Okay. but I couldn't stand Chad Gable. And now with the new direction, with the face turn, and with that
He's becoming a more
storyline,
likable character.
I absolutely love him. I think he's fantastic. Hasn't changed his style, hasn't changed his moves at all. I just like the character better.
There you go.
If
Go ahead.
if Liv Morgan were to pull the same type of heel to face switch, I'd like her probably.
Fair enough. Well, I'll say it reminds me of the movie Benchwarmers, when the guy goes to talk to the kid that he bullied the most to try to apologize to him, and the dude's like, no, stay back.
Yeah. Oh,
all right.
As to the Hollywood death that's going to shake me the most, Peter Cullen.
Really? Why is that?
The voice of Optimus Prime.
True. Very, very true.
The man who, the character who has been an integral part of our childhood, shaped our views about protecting others, standing up for what's right. Yeah. Even though I first was introduced to Peter Cullen's work when he was playing the evil Sorcerer Avenger in Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, I mean, Peter Cullen, that's going to be my breakdown crying Hollywood death.
Like that moment of realization.
Yep. That's going to be a big chunk of my childhood that dies.
All right, so the last two matches, one is to crown an interim women's champion. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, Chelsea Green, Charlotte Flair, Last Legend will fight in a ladder match to determine who is the interim women's champion until Rhea Ripley can get back. And then we will have a champion versus champion face off that will determine who is the undisputed WWE women's champion. So this is a match I'm just going to love to see for the fun. Like, there's going to be some great spots in that. Last Legend is one that's going to tear through the competition, but I'm 100% sure she's not. Any of the other four would be viable picks. Jade, Chelsea, Charlotte, Tripp, Tiffany. I think being that they seemed to be building to Jade and Rhea before Rhea went out with the injury. I think we're going to see Jade win this. And so that it can be Jade and Rhea maybe at like Survivor Series. Or hell, maybe even more. Who would you like to see?
Out of those choices, I'm going to go with Jade. You're muted. There we go. Okay. Thanks for the busted eardrums there, bro.
Sorry, man. Didn't know it was going to do that. Just connected.
It's okay.
Battery died, so sorry. Well, I'll say, but yeah, so well, I'll say, we got Roman Reigns taking on Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship to close SummerSlam tonight. A match that I'm pretty sure a lot of people are looking forward to. And me, myself, and I will be probably glued to the TV as it happens because I want to see what's going to happen because I don't expect Roman to lose the belt, but we'll see what happens. Any quick thoughts on that match or any desired outcomes?
No.
Well, there you go. All right, so we will let that slide us out of this. game reviews and news. Welcome to the cheap pop version of that. Dave, why don't you kick us off with a little solo talk real quick about the EA story?
Okay.
Top of the board, and I'll be right back. Got to use the restroom.
You betcha. So, Electronic Arts has announced that they are going private this coming week. They're going to close their $55 billion deal to go private by August 4th, which is Tuesday. So this has been, this is after they were acquired by the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, Silver Lake, and Infinity Partners in the largest leveraged buyout ever. So, I got mixed thoughts about this, and mostly it's the continuing enshittification of the once legendary Electronic Arts title. You know, I'm not a fan of them being acquired by the Saudi Investment Fund. Excuse me, along with a couple of cooperating partners. It's complex because this maneuver isolates them even further from accountability to the general public for putting out good games. Is really kind of one of the last checks that EA had, where if they put out a terrible game, they had to worry about their stock price dipping. Now that they're going private only, they don't have to worry about that.
They can do whatever they want. Right.
Yep. So there's no accountability to putting out a good game. There's no accountability to representation in games. There's no accountability for content of the games. It can all be dictated now by these limited owners. And
well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is there no checks and balances, or is there a giant check and balance?
If you're referring to the idea of sales,
yes.
Let's look at it this way. The comics market. Okay. There are certain things that are going to sell regardless of quality. Even in Hollywood, there are certain things that are guaranteed, are all virtually guaranteed to sell regardless of the level of quality or content or any factor in there. So if you take in a calculation of, okay, we need to plan for this reasonable opening for the budget, everything else is just gravy, then there's no real reason to put out a superior product. It rewards putting out an adequate product.
Right. But what I'm saying is that gamers are of a finicky type, where if you put out a low quality game, odds are good your sales within the first couple of months, your sales are going to dip because the reviews are going to come out and everybody's going to be talking about how it's crappy of a game it is.
Right, but
then,
sales.
If you try to put out a game again, even though you have the legendary name behind you, people are going to be a lot.
Muted again.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there. This one shouldn't be
Okay.
dead.
Yeah.
It should be able to be on that. Anyway,
Hey,
but
yeah, I
but
see.
yeah, no.
I know. I realize what you're saying, but even the EA Sports, even if you take a break, you're going to come back to it and see, well, maybe they've improved. And there's always going to be that name recognition that will lead people back to see if they've improved, if they've changed.
But, okay,
and also so much review bombing is misinformation, outrage from specific corners. Right.
But I'm not saying review bombing. I'm saying, like, if you put out a shitty game, people, like, yeah, you're going to make a certain amount of money, but people aren't just going to buy your game. You see what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying is people may come back down. Oh, let me finish the full thought.
Yeah.
People may come back down the line, but you should see if the market works the way it's supposed to. If you're putting out mediocre products, you should see a dip in market share, or a dip in whatchamacallit. And the only way you should be able to see that rise again should be if you're putting out a better quality product. And as much as there are major flaws in that and how it works in the capitalistic society, for the most part, that's how it trends, is that what normally ends up causing a product to change or change for the better is a lack of sales once the product is the mediocre product has been the product for long enough.
Right.
Like I get what you're saying, that yes, there's no oversight or incentive, right, but I also see that that's something that the market can correct within itself, even though I agree that there should be the oversight within the thing, making sure that they're putting out the best game possible.
Right. But how many, you pretty much buy a version of, NFL, MLB, NBA, WWE, every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Not because the mechanics have changed or there's anything new or innovative. You're just getting them for the new rosters.
Right. Oh yeah, I've had that discussion before. Yes, we
right.
Don't need, and when it comes to sports games, we don't need a new game every season. You should just be able to. Well, I would say once every 5 years. Me and Swap came to the conclusion that it was once every 5 years is when they should spit out a game, and in between years you just have a roster update that you can download for like 5-6 months.
And it doesn't exactly impact the sales.
Well, because they're technically, here's the thing about it.
It's not the perfect analogy. But
because I was gonna say, like, here's the thing with sports games, that the gripe with a lot of sports games is that people want something new or something spectacular every year. It's like, it's not gonna happen every year. Either you buy it every year because you want to play the game every year because you want the updated rosters, or like the jump that, like, I'll use college football for the prime example. The base game that they put out in 2025, I was like, I was happy to play it. It felt like the old game, but it was missing a lot of the features. Okay. The next year in 26, we bought it because they added a couple more features. In 27, we bought it because they finally brought back the head coaching feature that we've been wanting since 26.
Okay.
Or 25.
So I have a better analogy.
What's that?
Mass Effect. Look at the changes between Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 in gameplay. And then this change with Mass Effect 3 in gameplay. And the end story in Mass Effect 3. It was fine. It was adequate.
Yeah.
But the customer base didn't like it and were very vocal about it.
Yeah.
Okay. EA already had their money.
Well, yeah,
But
of course.
they went back and did a new ending. That cost them a huge amount of money to do that, to program that in. But they did it because they wanted their customers to be satisfied, and they wanted to push for the next installment, whatever that was going to be.
Right.
They were public then. Now that they're private, their private owners can just say, "Nope, we got the money. They'll buy it. They'll buy the next game no matter what." So,
but here's the thing about it. I get the maybe of it, but the true bottom line is we don't know that they're not going to continue on.
We don't know. Yeah,
saying that we want to do what's best for, because in a perfect society, and we know, like I like to quote that old Walgreens commercial from hella years back. We don't live anywhere near perfect, but in a perfect world, that copies, we can make that money back there.
I think the difference is that you're an optimist about the free market system. I'm a cynic about it. So
say F the buyer, F the person. We're just going to get our money and run. But
I mean,
but there are other ones out there that don't.
I mean, I grew up. CEO of Sony was so concerned, he sold off a chunk of his Sony stock because he thinks when the PS6, the Fallout's just going to crater the stock value.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sony hasn't reconsidered. PlayStation still plans to go fully digital for new games in the coming years.
Like, here's the thing about it. If your fan base is already like, yo, no, we don't want that, why would you still follow through with it? Like, that's the part that just don't make no sense to me. Like, if my entire fan base was already from day one just like, no.
Yeah.
Like, like, I would just be like, let's hold off on this until there's more of a necessity.
Yeah. And, I agree that the fans have a right to be outraged. And we also agree that Sony routinely shoots itself in the foot.
Yes.
But we also need to acknowledge that the fandom shoots itself in the foot as well.
True.
How many times have we heard, I'm never going to see another Marvel movie, or I'm never going to see another Star Wars movie, or I'm never going to buy from this company ever again?
Yeah.
And the company just shrugs, moves on, and the outrage dissipates, and the person who said it, they're in line opening day to see it, because it's meaningless threats.
Right.
It's threats that have absolutely no meaning in terms of backing or consequences for the companies involved.
No, 100%. And yes and no, there's not. It's okay. There's a term that has to be understood here as we're discussing this. It goes around in business circles a lot. If you ever studied anything in business, whether it be in high school, college, or whatever, you'll notice. Because it's also used in the military. So if you've ever been in the military, acceptable losses.
Right.
For some companies, it's not necessarily that they don't lose anything because people continue to buy their product. It's that their profit margin stays high enough despite the lost revenue that they're like, okay, that is an acceptable.
And yes, and they have factored in acceptable losses into their business plan for every project that they fund.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so because of that, that's what puts the consumer at a disadvantage, but not 100% because yes, And here's what I will always say is the battle that humanity or your human beings, especially in this country, will always have fighting back against the capitalist infrastructure. There has to be a large enough group to make the losses unacceptable.
Yep.
And getting 5,000 human beings on the same page, let alone 50 million human beings on the same page, is damn near impossible. And I'm not saying don't try.
Right. And I'm actually going to talk to you after the podcast of what happened and what happened up here in Salem this week and why it was good, but then no consequences.
But needless to say, all right. So we'll move on now to some good news about if you like pop punk video games, a pop punk action RPG, Stupid Never Dies. It's an October launch date. So just a little story I thought I'd throw out there, just a little something fun. This game looks pretty dope. Let's see, it will be released. It's at the Game Awards. October 21st is when it will get its release.
Yep.
So
single-player, third-person action game starring Davey, an extremely weak and timid zombie on the bottom rung of the monster hierarchy. After falling in love with a human college girl named Julia, who was frozen to death during a war, he embarks on a quest to revive her by defeating Calm, the king of monsters, and gaining his power.
There you go. We'll see, giving us a nice little holiday story around Halloween.
Yep. That's a trend that's in a lot of gaming recently. One of the things that the tabletop industry has been booming in is what's called the cozy market.
Okay, what's that?
Which is, instead of the high stakes quest through the dungeon to defeat the Lich King or whatever and save the kingdom, no, you're just playing a halfling who's going out into the woods to gather ingredients to make a pie for tea. Yeah,
that's great.
It's low stakes. You're still having fun, but it's
kind of like farm. It's kind of like Farm Simulator.
Yeah, it's comfort food.
Yeah,
it's comfort food as gaming. And it's what you think of when you think of Nintendo's primary lineup with Mario Kart, and all those other titles. There's no high stakes pressure unless you're playing Mario Kart, 4-on-4 on the couch, and your elbow counts as a shell.
Hold on one second. All right, LaDon's chimed in. Thanks for joining the show again this week, LaDon.
Thank you, sir.
As always. He says, you sound like Supergirl. I assume we were talking about Hasbro and what you call it.
Yeah.
And he said, it's time to face the fact that we're all moving. Hold on. It's time to face the fact that we're all moving to PC gaming at this point, because if we're not getting physical copies of the game, it's cheaper and more convenient to get them through Steam. The man has a valid point.
He does have a valid point. Plus, if you're getting through Steam, you have console commands and cheat codes.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had a console game with like their version of the Konami code?
Up, down, left, right.
Yeah, the debug tool that's still in the game.
Really, they left it in all these years later.
Yep. I mean, you want to get technical. Every single Bethesda game has the same console commands for debugging. You can type every single Bethesda game, whether it's an Elder Scrolls game, a Fallout game, Starfield. They have the same hexadecimal code for an item code for money. So hexadecimal, I think it's 0001 is the item code for gold, bottle caps, and credits that you can add to your character. Across the same, there is a common console command that will take you to the Cave of Wonders, where right off the bat, a copy of every single item possible in the game is spread out there for you to take before teleporting back to the starting point.
Wow. Yeah, Ladon says room. Exactly, room.
Yeah.
So, all right.
But you can't use those codes on console versions.
Console. Here's what's funny to me. I love that
you're stuck in Skyrim. You're stuck in Skyrim, chopping wood for like 6 hours physical time to get the money to be able to go into Whiterun to afford the house after your first dungeon run. You know.
Let's say, I will tell you this. I know that every iteration of SimCity said some kind of infinite money code, infinite this code or that code, like every single version I've ever played. All I've had to do is look it up, and then I knew it was there. But all right, so the next story I believe came from you. I may have came from you. Well, it's like Fable will have a playable combat gameplay demo at Gamescom in 2026.
Yeah, no, not for me, but yeah, you know, I'm curious about Fable. It's a series that I like. We'll see what comes up, because you know it's been a hot minute since we've had a Fable game.
It says Xbox will be streaming the coverage, of the event live for those who cannot attend.
Right.
So on August 26th.
Yep. And we had the announcement, announcement trailer at State of Play for Xbox and PlayStation.
Really? Isn't Fable an Xbox game?
It used to be, but you know, we're I guess it's not going to be it's not going to be console exclusive anymore.
Gotcha. Well, I guess that's kind of smart for the people that made it.
Yeah.
All right, so the last story we have for video game reviews is Lucasfilm and Asper have reportedly cut ties after
Aspire
have reportedly cut ties after Battlefront Collection and Knights of the Old Republic remake failures.
Yeah.
So what's this one?
I'm not so Aspire had the license to do remakes of Star Wars Battlefront and Knights of the Old Republic. Aspire released the remastered Knights of the Old Republic that you can find, that you're able to get on Switch. But the full remake, top to bottom remake of Knights of the Old Republic has been in developmental hell for years. So
do what you will with that.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, Lucasfilm is finally said enough's enough, and we're gonna go in another direction, which, okay, fine. I think it's also part of the reason why Lucasfilm has, you know, why they're allowing there to be two different versions of the Star Wars role-playing game, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
In that they're not putting all their money on Edge Studios version. They're not putting all their money on the upcoming Wizards of the Coast version. They're basically padding their bets because both game systems are different enough and appeal to different style players that the ones who play Edge Studios aren't going to want to buy into Wizards of the Coast, and the Wizards of the Coast 5e players don't really want to buy into the Fantasy Flight Edge system. So, what I would love to see out of Lucasfilm is, just there's a huge back catalog that old game nerds like us would love to see updated for modern consoles and for PC. I mean, Curse of Monkey Island, Maniac Mansion, Gladius.
Love to see all of those.
Yep. So there's a chance here for Lucasfilm to diversify, fully utilize their IP more and diversify and get more stuff out on the market to make more money.
Yep. We'll see if they're good businessmen.
Yep.
All right, y'all. So that will take us out of video games for this week and take us into our final segment of the night, which is, as always, where can we find you next? Sir, if you wish to kick us off and let us know what's going on over there on the, late evening tonight shift.
The sundown shift.
There you go.
That's not because I'm getting old, damn it. All right. So part of the night shift is I'm going to be back on Star Wars: The Old Republic with my Jedi Knight, going through that. That's definitely planned. My other plans depend on the gentleman to my left, what his schedule is when he gets off. I may get in another hour and a half to 2 hours of City of Heroes tonight.
All right, that sounds awesome. Yeah. All right, for me, you're going to catch me on a special makeup screen. Well, actually, next you're going to catch me on The Classroom, which will start at 6 with me and O'Malley. We're going to be talking about a clip of ours from last week that went viral. I mean, really viral. So
nice.
Be sure to tune in because we're going to be reading through some of the comments. Some of these vile motherfuckers on the internet. Anyway, but that'll be tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern, right here. WKKW Network, YouTube, Version X YouTube, and Twitch. And as far as the video game goes, we'll be doing a makeup MLB The Show 25 stream tonight. An MLB Thursdays makeup stream after The Classroom, probably 8 to 9:30 or so. And yeah, we're going to have some fun with that. And then I'll be back on Tuesday with Football Tuesdays again. Tuesday will be my last nighttime stream because I'll be going back to working nights. So starting on Wednesday, I'll be going on in the mornings. All right, y'all. So that's it for me. What's up? Oh, Ladon said you can find him in the club. Just so everybody knows. Ladon says you can find him in the club.
Bottle full of bub.
There you go. But that's going to do it for us, y'all. So thank you for joining us on this week's edition of the Cheap Pop Podcast. Like I said, I'll be back in a little over 2 hours with O'Malley in The Classroom. Good, y'all. Peace.